Hi, my name is Connie Conroy. I'm the elementary math resource teacher, and this is Math in Minutes. On this episode of Math in Minutes, we focus on multiplication. We want our students to be able to accurately multiply using many strategies and being flexible in their thinking. Let's take a look at one strategy that builds understanding of multiplication, partial products. In this strategy of partial products, it really relies heavily on the understanding of the distributive property. Let's take a look at this example, 28 times 2. What we want our students to be able to do is break apart the idea that 28 can be 20 plus 8 times 2. We then want our students to do 20 times 2 equals 40. And 8 times 2 equals 16. This is how we come up with the strategy called partial products. We have partial products here. And then when they're added together, the ultimate product is 56. So 28 times 2 is 56. Because the partial product strategy is derived from the distributive property, it always works for multiplication. Let's take a look at 32 times 15. For this problem, 32 times 15 will break apart both factors. So here we have 32, 30 plus 2, times 15 broken apart is 10 plus 5. First thing I will do is 30 times 10. And we know that equals 300. Next, I will do 30 times 5. And we know that equals 150. Next, I will do 2 times 10. We know that equals 20. And lastly, we'll do 2 times 5. Here are my partial products. My next step is to add them up to get my sum of 480. And that is the product of 32 times 15. As our students become more comfortable with multiplication and their understanding, they may find that only breaking apart one factor is more efficient. Let's take a look at 26 times 15. In 26 times 15, we're only going to break apart one of the factors. This time we're going to multiply 26 times 10. And now we're going to multiply 26 times 5. I'm going to use what I know about 26 times 10 to figure out what 26 times 5 is. 5 is half of 10, so I know that half of 260 is 130. These are my partial products, and when I add them together, I get 390. So 26 times 15 is 390. When students use the partial product strategy, they don't always have to break it apart into place value. They can break it apart into friendly numbers as well. Let's take a look. In this problem, 27 times 8, we're going to break apart the 27. But this time, we're not going to break it apart into 20 plus 7. We're going to break it apart into 25 plus 2 times 8. This is a friendly number. Kids know how to add 25 or multiply 25. So 25 times 8 is 200. And 2 times 8 is 16. Again, these are my partial products, And when added together, it is the product of 27 times 8. The strategy of partial products always works. Sometimes it's not the most appropriate strategy. Based on the complexity of the multiplication, other strategies may be more appropriate. See you next time on Math in Minutes.